are now listening to the Dad Rules Podcast with your hosts, Mario E. and Kid.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Dad Rules Podcast, where we help you dad better. I'm Mario E. My other co-host is Kid. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Let's get back to the podcast. What we got for today?
All right, so today we're going to be talking about all that glitters is in gold. All right, so I'm going to start this one off. So we've all kind of heard that term before. So we know it seems to talk about, things aren't always what they appear to be. Or things may be glittery and shiny and seem great, but they may not be like that, right? So I can remember when I first heard about pyrite. And pyrite is supposed to be fool's gold, right? And I can remember as a kid, I had to have been somewhere in elementary school or, middle school or something. And I remember seeing what appeared to me was gold, and it looked like gold to me as a kid, right? Yeah. But it wasn't. It was whatever this substance is, pyrite, and it looks like it, but it doesn't. It's not what it is, right? And so it kind of made me start to think, as I reflect on it now, there are plenty of times, in my life that I've thought people were a certain way, but they're really not. Or I've thought situations may be a certain way, but they're really not. Once you start to get in and you start to peel back the layers and you're like, oh, this person isn't who I thought they were. They maybe appear to be that way, but they're really not. And, one of the things, I think about it in terms of dating. Okay. So my son right now is 11. He's getting ready to be 12. I got a daughter who's 18. And there are so many times where in today's society, I've noticed where people can put on fronts, people can put on all these different airs, especially on social media, okay? We can see an Instagram photo of a person and it may look, if you're a guy and you're looking at it, you're like, wow, man, this girl is great. Or if you're a girl, you looking like, oh man, this guy is awesome, or whatever the case may be, right? But then once they start to open their mouth, or once you start to really get to know them, it can be something totally different, right? Yeah. And so I just find it in today's society, man, it's, for me, having to try to explain to my kids this whole dating thing. And of course, my son is way too young for all that now, but I'm projecting ahead. Once he gets to that age, he gets older and he's more into girls and wanting to have a girlfriend, this, that, and the other. I'm going to really have to explain to him that all that glitters isn't gold, right? Yeah. That just because a girl has a nice figure, nice shape, nice whatever, that don't mean everything is going on right upstairs. Or whatever. And, it's so, I just think about it so much, man, like social media has become such this thing to where you can fool a lot of people, just like pyrite can fool some people. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, all these things can fool so many people. You can have people thinking you are this great person and so attractive and all these different things. And you may be attractive on the outside, but you could be totally ugly on the inside. And that's just one of my concerns as a dad, man. It's like, how do I do that? How do I kind of get through to my son? How do I get through to my daughter? And to me, it's just having to constantly remind them, hey, just because somebody looks nice, that don't mean that it is nice. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so like I kind of think about like what you're saying, you have to advise your son, which I think that's what us fathers have to do. I think too many times fathers try and step back and just let them do their own thing. But I feel like you should put your opinion out there and let them know how you feel about certain things and then let them make their decision after that. But how many times in your life have you said, man, I wish when I was 22, somebody had said something to me. I wish when I was 24, somebody had said something to me or somebody had gave me some good advice. So I think that's what comes into play right here. But the main thing that I really think about, especially when you talk about relationships and what glitters is not gold, first thing first, when you're looking for somebody to be with, when you're looking for somebody to be the mother of your children, you're looking for somebody who you want to spend the rest of your life with, you have to be very particular. And it's very, very, very important for you to find a wife. And I think I might have talked about this before. She's already a wife. You get what I'm saying? The way she talks, the way she carries herself is already what you look for in a wife. You don't go to somebody and say, hey, this girl over here, yeah, I'm going to make you into a wife. I'm going to turn you into a wife. We used to have a saying about that back in the day. But, you know, you have to be very careful because they out here gaming. They out here scamming. They showing you they know how to play it right, especially when there's an extra incentive involved. Okay, he's from a good family, or they're well off, or they got themselves together. I want to be associated with them. People can fake stuff for a long time, and I think another thing that gets messed up a lot of times in our community is you have something good and you don't realize what you have. Like the saying goes, you don't miss your water until the well runs dry. So one of the worst feelings in the world is to have somebody of value, have somebody that is good for you. And then you go out here and you thinking that, oh man, that fake gold over there, that Rubus Zirconia over there look real good. And then when you get there and then you like, oh snap, this ain't the real deal. This ain't a diamond. This cubic zirconia over here. You know what I'm saying? So I think what we have to do, we have to prepare our sons and daughters for what they're going to see. The game doesn't change, you know, the players do. I know you've heard that. The game doesn't change, the players do. So the same dating game and everything that was when we were there, some elements to the game change. Obviously, the players change in it, but we have to put our kids up on game. We got to let them know what to look for, man. Right. Look, if she doing this, you need to stay back. If he doing this, you need to stay back. You need to look at that. You know, if you see things, and like as fathers, especially with our daughters, if somebody's dating your daughter, that's where the whole thing came from with what are your intentions with my daughter? Yeah. See, we done messed up. We've messed up the structure of the family. But the dad is supposed to talk to the guy before he take his daughter out. I don't know if you ever had that before, but I've had that. Well, I had to sit down with a young lady's father before I took her out, and had a conversation on what your intentions are. Well, she needs to be back by this certain time so you can get on the same page. But the problem is
that doesn't happen too much today, much anymore. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it happens much anymore.
The dad's not talking
because everybody's about me, and I want to do my own thing.
Yeah, they don't get to talk to him until it's too late. They don't get to talk to him until it's the baby shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too late at that point, right?
You know, you said something right, and you were talking about putting our sons and daughters up on game. And, you know, this made me think about this right now. So bear with me. But you know how, like in nature, you have prey and then you have predators.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You got prey and you got predators. We all know what the difference between a prey and a predator is.
Yeah.
Okay. There are people who are predators. We have some people who are apex predators, and they come in the form of men and women. Okay.
Yeah.
They do. They come in the form of men and women. Some women will see what's, you know, a kind-hearted guy and will prey on that and try to bleed that guy for everything that he has. and
You
run him
say
through the
it.
ringer, try to make him spend all the money that he can. We have some women out there that's like that. And they come in this package that's gold. They come in this golden package and they look boom, 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 wow. And they got everything that you would think you would like as a guy. They come in that total package. Okay. But they really, it's like they wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. We got some of them out here like that.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, we have our daughters, the same thing. It's some guys out there that they mean you no good. Okay.
Yeah.
They want one or two things from you, and that's it. That's it. They're gonna come looking nice, they're gonna dress nice, they're gonna smell good, they might have a nice car, all these nice, shiny, glittery things, but they coming for one thing. They coming for that thing that you got that's valuable. Okay. Yeah. That's what they coming for. And we need to teach our kids those things that, hey, look, let me explain this to you. You might not want to hear this right now, okay? Because you got enamored by the gold that you see. Yeah. But I'm telling you, they coming after one thing. They coming to prey on you, okay? Yep. They are a predator, and you need to be careful. You need to keep your eyes open and your ears peeled, your eyes peeled and your ears open for what's going on, and listen. Because if you let them talk long enough, they'll let you know what they all about. And I'm telling you, man, we got to teach our kids those things, man. That, hey, I mean, it's some real life predator. I know we talk about predators in terms of messing with little kids, young kids, and things like that, but it's some grown people preying on other grown people too. I mean, it's real, and we got to be able to teach our kids that stuff, man. Yeah. We got to teach them early.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And if you don't teach them, who gonna teach them?
Experience will. If you don't teach them, experience will, and shame on you for not telling them that people is gonna,
I'm just gonna be honest,
prey on you. That it's gonna be some predators out here that's gonna come and try to take advantage of you. And you got some really good women, some good girls who may be 18, 19 years old, and they got a good head on their shoulders, they got a job or they just out of college making some good money. And you got some freeloading guys that all they want to do is use that woman for a place to stay. And shame on that guy for doing that. Because I mean, he's not a real man, if you ask me. Okay, he's not a real man. If he's trying to leech off the woman like that, you're not a real dude. Yeah, you go back to the drawing board.
And then too, like what you're saying is like, once they get the experience, and then after they get the experience, then it's like, oh, okay, I know what to do now. I'm valuable to a relationship. But sometimes a whole lot of experience in relationships is not good for future relationships.
That's sometimes very
true. Sometimes people can really learn a whole lot of stuff from relationships or whatever, and they can apply it to new relationships, and it helps. But a lot of people bring a whole lot of toxic behavior into new relationships because of all the relationships and experience that they have gained. Yeah. So don't go out here thinking that I need to be experienced in the dating game. That's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Be experienced in your married life. That's where you gain experience at.
Yeah. I'm glad you clarified that. I think you knew what I meant, but I'm glad you clarified that with the experience part. And another key piece that I think about when I think about all the glitters isn't gold. We also need to teach not just in romantic relationships, but we need to teach our kids the importance of choosing good friends. And I know we talked about this before, but just because you see someone who's a peer of yours, and they may come from a good household, or so you think, and they've got a nice car and they seem like they got their heads on straight. Some of these friends will lead you down the wrong path as well. And you need to keep your eyes open for those types of things as well, because some of these friends mean you no good. Yeah. They may on the outside appear that they're getting raised right, but really, they're not, or they may not be getting raised at all. Okay. And just because your friend has their parents drive a Mercedes, that doesn't mean that, oh wow, I need to be their friend so I can reap some of the great benefits of having a rich friend. But That's corny too. Don't do all that. You know, get with some people, some friends that is about something, that has some similar interests as you, that are going places. You know, not just some people who sitting around playing video games all day. I mean, that's corny.
Yeah. And then two, bringing more to the table. You know, I feel like that we talked about being well-rounded before, but we need to teach our kids as far as relationships and looking at what glitters is not gold. You don't need to be looking at just what that person looks like. That's so early on in relationships and stuff. They get so caught up in that person looks good, but they don't think about the qualities of what they want. They see that they look good, they're handsome, or she's pretty, or she's beautiful. They see that, but then their personality doesn't match the life that you want for yourself in your future. Okay,
Yeah.
you see how she acts right now. She's fussing, she's fighting, she's yelling, but then in your mind, you got that we're gonna be living in the suburbs, and I want my wife to be taking the best care of my children. She's gonna make sure that the house is in order, turning my house into a home, those type of things. Do you see that this girl is not going to be able to provide that? On the flip side, with a girl, you talking about you want a man that's going to protect the home, that's going to be able to mentor your son to be the best man, best productive man possible. That's what you want. But you look at this man, does he look like he can be that? Take people for what they are. I think we get so caught up in that I'm going to change you. I'm going to make you into what I want you to be. No, people are who they are.
Yeah.
Let them be who they are. And that is not the person for you. It's a person out there for you. But you're going to mess around and mess up and miss it because you're trying to make somebody else that does not fit that mold be what you want it to be. And then we have to teach them realistic expectations of what people are. So if you think that this person is so golden, be real in your assessment of people. That person is going to be flawed. That person is going to make mistakes. They're not going to be perfect. So the person that will be golden for you, you might overlook them because your expectation is way too high. Not saying don't have expectations, but when your expectations are way too high, you might as well not have any expectations.
That's right.
Another thing I thought about too, like, I don't know, with my son, I'm teaching him, like, look, you want somebody, I know you want somebody that's beautiful. And like I said, he's way away from that dating age, but it'll be here before you know it. But I know you want somebody beautiful, but get somebody with some brains. Son, you want to do this, you want to have this going on, you want to have this business going on, you want to have that business going on, you want to have a successful career, you want to do things in life, you want to achieve things, you got all these goals, but you need a partner, you need a helpmate in your life. Okay? And you need somebody that's got some know-how, you need somebody that has some brains. Whatever you're lacking in, you need that person to come in and fill in the blanks. We all got blanks. Mm-hmm. We all got I's that need to be dotted. Yeah, we got T's that need to be crossed. Find that person for you. That person may not be the coolest person in the world. They might not be what you imagined. This Cinderella story. It might not be like that. But you're going to find the best person for you, and the best person that will love you, and you will love that person. But I definitely think we have to teach our kids about love, man. We have to teach them about that, but people don't want to talk about it. And our kids, year after year, go into these relationships eyes wide shut, man.
Yeah. That's right.
You got anything else on that?
I don't. Not right now.
Okay.
But this was good enough to where I think maybe this is something that we could definitely revisit for another time for sure.
Okay. Yeah,
Because
definitely.
it's so much to unpack.
Feel like everybody just, that watches this, you need to just let us know what you guys are thinking, where we can come back to it. Maybe we didn't answer the question that you wanted to be answered. So feel free to hit us up on our Facebook page. And we can definitely answer the questions that you guys have. I have an Ask Dad. So let's go to our Ask Dad portion of the. I saw something that bothered me when we were on vacation. I advise everybody to take a vacation here and there. You don't have to go for a very long time. You don't have to go for a short time. You just need to go somewhere with your family. Trust me, it makes it better when you come back. But we went on vacation and we had got a cabin or whatever, right? So we were in the mountains. We had a good time, and Jonah gets to the point where it kind of gets this cabin fever thing where, you being in the cabin and just needs to get outside and just kind of get some of that energy out, man. I've told you guys before on the podcast, my son, he has a lot of energy. So we found a playground that was nearby to take him to. So we took him to the playground. We took him there just about every day that we were there. It was something that we did in the afternoons after cool down a little bit. It helped us managing him. And it was a father and a daughter that was about Jonah's age, which Jonah is 4 years old. And when I say that this little girl had a fit when it was time to go, where she was telling him, no, I'm not going, and kicking and screaming. And it got to the point to me that it was just kind of getting like borderline disrespectful. And I was just wondering, like, man, why are you taking this right now? So I noticed that I don't know if he was just impatient, or I don't know if he was just being patient, or he didn't know what to do. But in a situation like that, is it okay to let her just tell you no, and that she's not going to do anything, and you just let it be and let her come around? Or is this some time that was this a time that he needed to take force?
Wow. So the way I kind of look at that is, here's how I have combated that with my kids. I kind of give them, and I don't know that this happened with this father and his daughter, but I kind of, this works for me in my house. You kind of give them a countdown. I don't mean like it's time to go. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't mean like that, but kind of like, hey, 10 more minutes, we're gonna leave. 5 minutes come around, hey, 5 more minutes, it's gonna be time to go. So that they're adjusting to it and they know, so that when you say it's time to go, no, it's time to go. None of this screaming and no, I don't want to yet. No, I've given you proper warning. I've given you proper notice that time is winding down for us to be able to, that we have to leave from here and we got to go and do something else. So for me, that's kind of what I've done. We do that with my son, if it's bedtime or if it's, time to get ready to go to, a practice or getting ready to go to church or whatever the case may be. But we kind of say, hey, 15 minutes, it's time to go to the barbershop.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know he may be doing in his room, doing something, maybe having a good time, playing a video game or something. But, I'm giving him that countdown to say, hey, look, hey, 5 more minutes, we're getting ready to go. That way, and then too, to me, that also teaches them, how to properly manage their time. Like if I know if I got 5 minutes left and if something really I want to do, maybe I'm not going to start this new level right now because I know I'm not going to be able to finish it if he's playing a video game. So it kind of it kind of helps you to where when it's time to go, you be able to say, hey, I told you 10 minutes ago it's time to go. So it is not just so abrupt and like time to go. And, you know, it can be kind of jarring for a kid, especially if they're all into their play and having fun. But that's typically what I do.
Yeah. And I think that's something definitely that a lot of fathers can use. I think that's something I can probably implement a little bit more, especially because I understood. That's why I didn't criticize on the dad, because I felt like we've all been to that point where we're trying to get a kid to leave the playground or something like that, and they're just kind of having a fit. And I have patience, right? But I just felt like that it just went beyond that. And I was like, all right, man, it's time to do something. But like you said, they didn't do that countdown type of thing. And I think that's something that we definitely can use as dads when you're trying to get our kids to, do what we're asking them to do. And, I felt like he did a good job, because I kind of got to the point. I was like, might be a little time for a little bit of old school, but he was finally able to get in the car or whatever. But I was like, I can't live like that. And I thought about it. I said, he hasn't laid down the ground rules at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you haven't set those rules up, that's why I said, like, you got to make sure that they're behaving at home first. So when you do get in those public settings, like, look, I ain't gonna do a whole lot of talking, but you already know what come with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like he possibly didn't do that at home. But yeah, it is what it is. But we're here to, try and help all fathers parent the best way you can, because I know we're all going through similar situations. But that's all for today. We thank you guys for listening to Dad Rules Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and share, and also subscribe on YouTube and like our page on Facebook. Mario E and Kid, we are signing out.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Dad Rules Podcast with your hosts, Mario E and Kid. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow and like us on Facebook and Instagram. You can find our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Breaker, and Player FM. Until next time.